All right, greeting friends. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Vorm. This is Aska. We are going to be doing our first real run. Did a first look stream a little earlier today. Got some basics figured out, the early game stuff. I think I know enough now that we can start a proper run and, let it go where it's going to go. See what happens. Plenty of stuff we haven't seen yet, haven't done yet. So still lots of learning to do. If you're watching this on YouTube, welcome. Aska, best described, I think, as Valheim meets Bellwright. So Valheim for the theme, Vikings and such. And it's a colony builder, manager, survival type game. So brings in elements of games like Bellwright. Bellwright's not the only one, but it's the one I've played most recently that I remember. That has the full colony management stuff. We're going to get a lot of villagers. We're going to assign them to tasks and jobs and build housing for them and have them do, hopefully, all the grunt work while, we play middle manager. It's in early access. Still got some rough edges here and there. I'm not sure what else is on the plans for the roadmap. But, here we go. Let's give it a try and see what happens. Single player. Actually, I'm going to go settings. I think I already turned that one setting off. Yeah, I turned keybinds off. Keep the rest of it for now. All right, single player, new game. I did want to look at this menu real quick. So we're going to play the normal world settings. Fair and balanced world designed by the gods, the way the game was meant to be played. But I want to look at this real quick. What do you have in here? This is the same custom game preset. Load world settings from a list. Save the current world settings as a preset. Okay. Difficulty. So you can set various things: invasion, monster density, population, and then the wildlife. That's not a lot of options, but there's a few. Terrain, aspect, height, season length, precipitation, day length, structure decay, clothing decay. All right. Good enough. Let's go ahead and back out again. I do want to check one other thing. I believe it's no longer playing the intro stuff. Is there an option in here to have it play the intro? Hide tutorials, show intro video on. Yeah, I'm gonna leave the tutorial NPC and stuff off. I know enough about the basics of how things work that I don't think I'll need that stuff. But we'll show the video for this very first run that we're gonna do, and I'll turn it off after that for future runs. All right, apply changes, apply, and back to the start screen. Here we go. So there's going to be an intro schematic. As always, let me know in the chat if there's any audio balance problems, anything like that when we first start a new run. New game, normal, session 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Seed number 4. That's the good one. That's the good one right there. That's going to give us everything we want in our world seed. I played Aska the first time. Let's go ahead and play Ragnar this time. I'm still not going to customize him. What options are there? Face and hair, body, presets, base stats. All right, whatever. Here we go.
In the days before, the gods gave us the spark of ambition, which lit the fires of creation. They gave us a world of our own, a home. They made us builders, warriors, legends. They gave us everything. But our hubris overcame us. We thought ourselves to be gods instead. We tore apart their memory. And so we were punished. Everyone, everything cast into the fire. Yet some of us were spared. To start again.
There you go. Nice and succinct. So here we are on the beach. So I'll talk a little bit about how the game works because, we'll have a new audience that might not have caught the earlier stream, and I'm going to send this over to my YouTube friends. These are Jotun blood magical crystals. We're going to use those in a certain object we're going to build here in a bit. That's going to be the method by which we summon villagers that will assign the tasks in our village. All right. Hey there, buddy. I know. You're not going to leave until you wave and do your thing at me. Goodbye. Okay. That's pretty much all we get from our wrecked ship at the start is those crystals. We have our inventory screen. Of note, it's divided into 3 different sections. We have small items, limited slots. We have medium items, limited slots. And we can carry a single large item at any particular time. We got equipped items. We got some stats. We got some proficiencies. Yeah, What was that thing? That was a Jotun. Jotun. All right. So yeah, that's what that's what taught us the evil of our ways and cast us down and are forcing us to basically restart civilization. That little guy there is a little helper wisp. It's like a tutorial wisp. He's going to ask me to do certain things. So I'm going to ignore him for the most part. We got standard WASD controls for a third-person game like this. We can jump, we can crouch, we can dodge roll. The things. We have a hotbar at the bottom we can assign various things to. Bottom left, we have our hunger, thirst, and temperature readings. The bars to the left are right above our hotkey indicators in the middle of the screen. The red bars are health, the white bars are stamina, and we have a couple of icons in gold above that. That's because we have some buffs because we're well fed and we're well hydrated. So we're getting a little bit more strength and a bit more stamina replenishment. It's a get better at things by doing system. So if we want to get better at harvesting wood, we should go harvest wood. Same thing with stone gathering, etc. Just do things and you get better at doing those things. I don't know what the maximum number is that you can increase your skill to. But, that's what it is. It's a get better by doing system. You don't earn points and level up a character and put points into specific skills or anything like that. Yeah, so here we are. We are recently shipwrecked on the western side of an island. The island is bigger than I can zoom out right now. So it's limiting my zoom out feature or ability until we explore more. Then I'm going to be able to zoom farther and farther out. So don't assume that this is the actual size of the island. It's actually bigger than what you can see currently. But yeah, we got our little wisp marker, the shipwreck marker. I can put waypoint indicators on the map. Good stuff. We're going to be exploring the island. I'm going to do a few things here locally, and then we're going to take off running. We need to find a spot to set up our village. It's very important, and we need to basically, possibly, actually traverse the entire island and fill in the map so I can pick a spot, because I don't want to pick the wrong spot. So let's do a few things. Next important thing, if you hit the Z key, it sends out kind of like a radar pulse, and it highlights in gold resources that you can harvest. So we got some driftwood here. I can hold the E key down to collect the wood. So now I have wood, medium items here, 4 woods, 4 sticks. What else we got out here? We got any stones close by? We got some mussels. We can eat those. We need fibers, we need stones, and we need sticks. That's primarily what we're looking for. All right, let's grab some more stone. And of course, we're going to go through a tool progression and a workbench progression. We're going to set up various buildings and structures. We're going to recruit villagers and go about our business of staying alive. Our base is going to get raided. It has kind of a blood moon system. It's literally called the blood moon. I think it happens roughly every 3 days. Occurs at night, and it sends monsters after you of various types with increasing difficulty in those experiences. You no longer feel well hydrated. Oh well. You're getting thirsty pretty quick. I don't remember getting that thirsty that quickly. Alright, these reeds we're going to turn into fibers momentarily. Some items you can break down further from when you collect them. Okay, so we leveled up our gathering skill. Let's bring our inventory back up. So we're full up on our medium items. A lot of this is thatch, and there's a lot of pop-ups. At the bottom of the pop-up, it mentions left shift plus click to harvest it. I can either do this by putting it on the ground, and then I can hold R to harvest it. That'll turn it into its component part, which is the thing I need, fibers. Or, from the inventory here, I can just shift-click. So hold shift and click, and it'll instantly convert it. Much faster when you're allowed to do that. There is no sort button. I can't imagine why there is not a sort button yet, but, you know, whatever. It is what it is. Okay, let's make a few things. So we have a build menu. You hit the B key, it brings up this little list. They're categorized, basically. We're going to hit this first one, materials. We're going to tell it to make, I don't think I have 10 yet. I have 8. Let's make 2 more. Or let's grab 2 more stones. Then I can do a set of 5. Nice puddle of water. Alright. Build menu. This one, and there's rope, and then there's 5 rope. I'm going to hit 5 rope. Craft. And then stone blade, 5, craft. Learning the ropes. So we're getting some unlocks. If you hit the tab key, it brings up this kind of general journal thingy. And one of the things on here is the God's Favor. Bunch of different gods, and each one controls kind of a different aspect of the gameplay. So like in crafting, learning the ropes, craft the starting building materials. So we crafted one of each, and we learned this, or we were awarded this. I don't know if we're actually getting anything out of it, but it's kind of like an achievement system, I guess. So now that we have those, we're back to the build menu, tools, and things we need. We need things like pickaxes. So we need 1 stick, 2 stone blades, and a rope, so we can do that. We're going to need a stone axe. I won't need the hoe quite yet. We'll need a stone knife, and I might do a torch a little bit later, but I think that'll get us the basics. So it's putting the items on my hotbar. I can either leave them there, or I can remove them. I can move them around however I want. I want the stone axe first. Actually, I want you back here on 10. You on 1, 2, and 3. Actually, I don't even need them on this list other than one if I'm going to use one as a weapon. You're not actually needed. And the reason I say that, I'll show you here in a second. Alright, let's collect a few more of the raw materials and we'll get moving. Alright, so turn that into fiber. What are we up to? I've only got 1 rope, 8 fiber. I still need some more of the things, but I'm going to get them in some other fashions. So let's go ahead and talk to this guy. Press B to open the build menu. He wants me to build a simple fire, so he's going to start me down the progress tree of getting a village set up. I'm going to ignore him for a little bit. So he'll keep popping up in front of me as I travel, but we're going to just let him do his thing. All right, we'll be able to find food and water while we travel. I'm going to have a drink out of my water skin, and we'll bring up this, have some mussels. All right, so food and water are pretty much maxed out again. Let's travel. So we're going to use this to see things. And there's no limit to how many times. You can just keep pressing it. We want some food items. These are food and actually health. At least the garlic and the onions are, not so much the berries. We're going to be on the lookout for these. Flax. Always be flaxing. I got to train my eyes to see and pick up flax as we travel. All right, let's do this. So here's what I mean by I don't need these on my hotbar. For example, the pickaxe and the knife. Get off my hotbar. And we'll put the food items down here. Alright, so I just want the axe, which I'll use to fight with for the most part. So with this, I would need to have my pickaxe out. If you get an option like it says on there at the bottom of that pop-up, R hold harvest, that means press and hold the R key. It's automatically going to pull the right weapon out of my backpack and equip it, and then it'll start harvesting it. So I don't need the pickaxe on my hotbar necessarily in order to harvest resources. Alright, so that got up a bunch of small stones and then one large stone, which would go into our large item slot where I had to pick it up. Certain buildings we're going to need those, but not right now, so I'm going to break that one down as well. Oh, it's getting dark already. Huh. Maybe I'll just gather resources. Running around in the nighttime. I'm not quite... I can, but it's a little harder to see the things I want to see. Alright, so I can either pick these up individually, or again on the pop-up, the bottom option there, it says T, hold, pick up multiple. So it'll pick up multiple in a small area of the same type that I'm highlighting. So I'll just press T and hold, and it scooped up that whole pile. We got 8 small stones with 1 key press, so definitely take advantage of that. Alright, next thing to know, we've got these 5 blue stones. These are used to summon new villagers once we get a certain structure built, and it's 5 per villager. And you can see some kind of glowing in the area. There's one over there. Oh, we got the little guy. Come to me, little guy. So this is the kind of intro bad thing. It'll do damage if you let it. Pretty easy to kill, especially if you have any kind of tool. Hey, where you going, dude? You heading back to the beach? So they have 2 bars, a yellow bar, which is the stun bar, as well as their hit point bar. If you deplete the yellow bar, they get stunned for a short period, and you can wail away on them. No, I didn't adjust the number of days per season. I wouldn't know to do that. I don't have any idea how to adjust that stuff or why I would want to, so... We're playing the default experience. We'll get into world adjustments later, once I've actually played a bit and know the consequences for my choices. I briefly looked at the world options, but, you know, I just named them and then moved on. We're just on whatever the normal setting is. What are they called? I don't remember. Can't have too many fibers or ropes. I'm going to hold off on more sticks for now, though. What else we got? So we have a bird's nest. You can get feathers for arrows as well as eggs to eat. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Hey, berries. Think that is flax? Yeah. Gathering 9. So, notice there's a difference in the style of tree designs on the map here. It does literally indicate a difference in the tree types. So, we got the birch over here, which are the more rounded tree types on this map. And then the fir over here. So this is how you get water in the early game, natural water collectors. You can either drink out of it or you can gather it up into your container. So I'm going to go ahead and gather this one. They're only like one sip of water per each. But I believe these are also where you would put wells. These are like natural springs that slowly fill up as opposed to catching rainwater. But these things are where you can drop wells for your village. Alright, so a bit of a hillside. We're going to be exploring the map, and we're going to be looking in particular for a few different locations that'll show up. Ideally, I want to stay somewhat close to the beach, but there's very specific locations that we need to find. So that is an old ruins, not one of the ones we're specifically looking for. It's going to be dens and nests and cemeteries where the bad guys hang out. We're looking for, in particular, a cave, which is our iron source, and a lake. And flat ground. Let's cut. I'm gonna cut kind of a southeast path and then work my way around instead of just kind of running up through the middle. Middle of the map seems to have, at least on the one and only run I did a little earlier today, middle of the map seems to have more dangerous locations that we'll deal with later. Lots of stone. Some onions and some garlic. These are healing items also, so I'm making a point of grabbing some onion and garlic. So that's the beach we can see over there. I want to stay inland of the beach a fair bit. Alright, skeletons. He's coming for me. Yep, large cemetery location. So each location has kind of a circle around it that denotes the border within which the enemies will hunt, track, attack you. If you get outside that border, then they'll stop chasing you. And so far, and this may change as the game progresses, but so far, I haven't really had any problem getting away from anything. So, we're pretty far out of their range now. Let's see. I want to go... Yeah, I kind of want to go that way. Yep, I know, buddy. You're really anxious to teach me that. Alright, back on the beach. Head back inland. I probably should be harvesting these blue stones, but I'm gonna hold off. I don't yet have a good feel for the balance of filling up my inventory. Alright, here come the wolves. I didn't get close enough to get it to... Yeah, go back. Punk wolf. I want to get it on my map. I gotta get close enough for it to trigger. Come on. This will be the part where I get stuck on a terrain and a wolf lunges and knocks me down and the other ones eat me. Alright, you can stop chasing me now. Okay. Now it's nighttime and foggy. That doesn't help. Now we're in good shape for water. Is this the lake? Or is this the edge of the ocean? Nope. It's just kind of a depression. Hey, buddies. Wisp waste. Wisps hang out at the ocean side, so we're too far or too close. Another wolf our den. This is a really nice flat area here. Too bad it's right on the water. Not sure what the stack sizes are for some of this stuff. So 15 for flax seeds, apparently. My small items list is getting a little full. You're not finding much. Am I too close to the, might just be hanging out too close to the ocean. And more wolves. That looks like Draugr. Yeah, I think that's the Draugr. This is one of the different ones, a Draugr field. These guys can have bows and arrows. So, we might take a hit or two here. I think I'm going to let's head up this way. Let's not follow the coast anymore. Let's cut back inland a bit. Another nice flattish area, if I could just find some of what I want. Having Draugr near, or not Draugr, I'd rather have some of the Wolfars near. I think I'm cutting back over towards the ocean a bit. I like my mini map shows more distance than this map. I'm just barely starting to see the water here, but my mini map is showing the whole coastline. That's a little odd. Yeah. All right. Back inland we go. Another wolf den. I don't have any problem finding these things. Ah. Okay. Might be time to cut zigzag back towards our starting area and fill in some more of the map in the middle. Oh, there's a big tree. I think that is going to be one of the lakes, possibly. Usually the willow trees are next to the lakes, the water. Unexplored cave. All right, so there's one of the things we're looking for. We can't do anything with it currently. But that is the cave entrance right there. Once we get an upgraded pickaxe, we can break through that, and inside of there is where the iron's going to be located. All right. My understanding is there's 3 of these on the map. So we found one, and they tend to be spaced supposedly in a rough triangle. So like here, here, and here, for example. So I don't know for certain this is where I want to set up. I'm going to spend a fair bit of time running around the map this very first run so I can get a better feel for it. This will be the second map that I've taken a look at. But the starting location is super important. This is actually pretty good because we got a fair number of... Oh, I think that's a wolf den right there. We got an open space here with the unexplored cave real close. Ideally, I want to be near the water, and we've got a wolf den there as well. Yeah, where was that lake? Which direction was that lake? And it is the Wolfhard Den. Thought the lake was down this way. That, or it's going to be that direction. Or it's going to be the ocean side. I think that's the ocean side. Yeah, ocean. So we got the cave, we got Wolfar, we got the ocean. And it's not flat, but from what I've been told, I'm never going to find large sections of really flat land. I don't know if it's proximity to the ocean that I really need, or if it's... Is that a shipwreck? I am not back where I started. Hey, guy. Howdy. I got like an altar thing right there. So you're going to get uppity about me being here. That's fine. I just wanted to look. Yeah, I think my... yeah, I don't know. Since I haven't actually done a full playthrough, I really don't know. I know we have to be near a cave. I know we want some flattish ground. And we need to be near water. Whether that's the ocean or a lake or just the little water collectors so that we can drop some wells. Let's keep running around. Old ruins. All right, take me, that direction. Hmm. I think that's heading down towards the ocean again. I'm going to end up spinning around back the other direction here pretty soon, though. Yeah. That is a lot of flat ground. Again, it's right on the ocean. And smokers. Now we're heading back into the dark and foggy night. Not a lake. Don't have any resin. Haven't chopped a young tree down to get resin. I guess we can do that real quick. Here's an example of breaking down a resource into multiple types of components. So now we've got bark, we've got resin, we've got sticks, and we've got what they call long sticks, but essentially logs. I want resin for now. Build you here, torch. Oops, I need one more rope. Alright, that'll help a little bit. Another wolf den. Standing right on top of it. It's weird how sometimes these are populated and sometimes they're not. Haven't found a single one of the lakes yet. So many wolf dens. Alright, another cave. That's number 2. Doesn't look like that would be too far from the water. Middle of a birch forest, though. It's kind of birch fir mix. Oops. Wasn't paying attention to my water. And my food. Yeah, I just have to grab some bushes. Alright, so I don't know how far or close I need to be to the cave. Is that a long way? I mean, I seem to have a nice flattish area right on the water here. I don't know where a lake is yet. That's the area I was kind of stopped in and looking. There's a bit of a slope to it and some large rocks. But well, let's kind of circle the area a bit. There's a lake that makes a... Where? Oh, right there's a lake. Yeah, I didn't notice that. Alright, we'll head that way. Send me there. Smolkers. Laser in the sky.
I see this game had an update. I'm patiently waiting on full release.
Alright, so there's the lake. So we seem to have a pretty nice spot right there. We're not too far from a wolfar den. We got the unexplored cave. We got the lake. Got a mix of the different tree types. We're not too far from the ocean, I think. So I think we'll go ahead and try setting up right here. I don't want to keep exploring forever. I need practice actually building things and doing things. We'll min-max, hyper-optimize once I got a little bit more than just the very basics down. Yeah, we'll have to look for basins. Sun's finally coming up. There's one right there. And another one. And another one. Makes 3 just right up here on this little lip. All right, yeah, let's do this thing right here. Get rid of the laser beam in the sky. Let's see, terrain undulations. Low point seems to be relatively here. It's going to take some time and practice for me to figure out how to do the terrain manipulation and pick my spots. Do I want to bring the terrain down from the low point, or do I want to be at the medium point? Hello, other water basin. Let's actually start right over here. This little area here is fairly flattish. All right, build, campfire, simple fire, build, wherever. Supply with materials. Open the menu. Stop showing me stuff. Build the campfire upgrade. Point at the right part, the rocks. And supply. I think I'll stop there. I'm not going to build the add-ons quite yet. Alright, next up. The shelter, build. Let's see. Let's put the shelter over here, and we'll kind of build in a group right in this area, I guess. I don't have a hoe yet. Stone blade and more sticks. Right, we have our shelter. Not quite. Third stage out of 3. Ooh, building 1. Now we have the shelter. All right, so we can sleep here, which we're going to go ahead and do. We'll get a little, like a harvesting symbol that starts to roll around. And when it fills up, we can wake up and we'll get a invigoration buff. Increases our stamina regen. It also does a light healing. But mostly we're going to be assigning these to our villagers. So our first villager will go in there. Next up, now we've got more stuff unlocked. We can do the Eye of Odin. Let's put that towards... I don't know that it matters, really. I'm going to try to keep that to village housing. So let's put it over here. All right. Long sticks, sticks, and small stones. Which I am out of all of them. It's resin. And more resin. I got too many water things nearby. I need stone. Too much water. I'm cursed with water. I think I need the large stone with this one too.